the Governing Council for the COOU. Senator Nwachukwu holds an interactive session with members of APGA. Federal government, AU, moved to enhance access to safe water in Africa. Gaza development set back by 77 years following series of war. A very good morning to you. Welcome to our breakfast news this morning. My name is Ichoma Uche. Monday's sit at home has ended in Anambra State. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has fully restored socio-economic and academic activities. With renewed confidence and sustained peace, Anambra is back on the path of progress and prosperity. Be part of this success story. The governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo, CFR, has approved the appointment of Professor Peter Azikiwe Onwalo, a professor of agricultural engineering and current VC of African University of Science and Technology, Abuja, and also a former DG CEO of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council, as the chairman, pro-chancellor of the Governing Council for Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Ibariam. As a distinguished engineer and award-winning administrator who has contributed extensively to the development of agricultural and materials engineering in Nigeria, Professor Onwalo brings to his new role as chairman pro-chancellor a vast wealth of experience and expertise that cuts across fields. His exceptional leadership qualities have seen him hold critical positions related to diverse, reputable institutions, which include as visiting professor at the National Universities Commission and co-center leader, World Bank-funded Pan-African Materials Institute, among others. Besides, Professor Onwalo has authored over 200 publications and 10 patents, received awards from over 70 organizations, and is a fellow of 12 scientific and professional bodies. The governor, who is the visitor to the Anambra State-owned university, also appointed other members of the Governing Council as follows: Chief Christopher Ndubisi, His Royal Highness Igwe Chidume Orano, Professor Josephat O. Ubuago, AIG retired Sir Chris Ezike. The new Governing Council members are expected to bring their combined wealth of diverse valued experiences to bear on the vision and governance of the university for greater academic excellence. In a bid to encourage transparency and accountability, the senator representing Anambra South Senatorial District in the Senate, Chief Nwachukwu, has held an interactive session with members of the All Progressives Congress Alliance APGA across the senatorial zone at the St. Mary's Catholic Church, Okpo Center, in the Nnewi South local government area. Correspondent Chukwuemeka Modelim takes it from here.
Constituents. During the meeting, Senator Nwachukwu explained that in the last 6 months of his representation, he has moved a motion about an old bridge on the Okija spur of the Onitsha-Owerri Road, connecting 3 critical local governments in Anambra South, which collapsed, cutting off communities, and that he is in talks with the federal government to fix the road and the bridge in no distant time. The senator disclosed that over 30 active erosion sites in the senatorial zone have received the attention of the Federal Ministry of Environment following a letter he wrote to the Ecological Project Office of the Presidency concerning the erosion sites, and that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has equally written to President Bola Tinubu about them, saying that he is going to meet President Tinubu with Governor Soludo in few weeks' time to approve the report of the Ministry of Environment on the erosion sites so that they will be rehabilitated with ecological funds.
With that report, we wrote a letter to the presidency. The governor is well aware of it. The governor himself has also written concerning that to the president. So we are pulling our resources together. We are going to approach the president, in a few weeks' time to see whether that will be approved. It will be a great relief to my constituents.
In their separate speeches, the Director General of Senator Emma Nwachukwu's campaign organization, Chief Cyprian Okereke, former Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Chief Emeka Sebodo, the Mayor of Orumba North Local Government Area, Mr. Casimir Nwafo, and others testified that the people of Anambra South Senatorial Zone are happy with Senator Nwachukwu because of what he has done in the last 6 months in office, and assured that they will continue to give him their maximum support so that he could do more.
Following his footsteps, whatever we are doing, we are looking at what he's doing. We are very, very intentional about that, and he has been a good mentor to all of us. So we are very happy that his message is getting results across the globe.
Earlier, during a Thanksgiving Mass held at St. Mary's Catholic Church, Obo, to thank God for giving Senator Nwachukwu victory at the Election Petition Tribunal and the Appeal Court, the Catholic Bishop of Ekulobia Diocese, Peter Cardinal Opaleke, enjoined the senator to always be closer to God and make the yearnings and aspirations of his constituents his priority in order to succeed. From Obo, Chukwuemeka Modelim, ABS News.
Nigeria and African Union Commission have intensified efforts as to accelerate the access to safe water and sanitation across the continent, following a high-level engagement with the African Ministers' Council on Water in Abuja. According to a statement on Wednesday by officer in charge of the AMCAO, the AU Secretariat, Nelson Commander, the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Joseph Utsev, received delegation of the AU led by Hassan Nyamba, Director for Sustainable Development and Blue Economy at the African Union Commission, and Nelson Gumonda, officer in charge of the AMCO Secretariat, alongside other senior officials in his office in Abuja. Other members of the delegation included Bala Tuhan, leader for corporate services, Comfort Kanshu, policy officer for water, sanitation and hygiene, and Jonathan Kampata, advisor under the Blue Africa Action Initiative, co-funded by the European Union and the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, and implemented by GIZ, according to a statement by the Commission on Wednesday. Welcoming the delegation, the minister underscored the importance of the visit in strengthening continental collaboration on water governance and policy implementation. He described the engagement as timely, given ongoing efforts to operationalize continental frameworks aimed at closing Africa's water access gaps. Gaza will need close to 8 decades and tens of billions of dollars to recover from more than 2 years of war waged by Israel. The European Union and the United Nations issued a joint report on Monday saying that human development across Gaza has been set back by a staggering 77 years, with $771.4 billion needed over the next decade for its recovery and reconstruction. According to the final Gaza Rapid Damage and Needs Assessment, jointly conducted by the EU and UN with the World Bank, $26.3 billion will be needed in the first 18 months to restore essential services, rebuild critical infrastructure, and support economic recovery. And from our sports desk, Kano Pillars have been sanctioned by the Nigerian Professional Football League for multiple violations of league rules during their home fixture against Rivers United on Sunday, April 19, 2026. The league body found the club guilty of failing to provide adequate and effective security at the match venue, a lapse that allowed unauthorized individuals access to restricted areas. The incident was further compounded by a pitch invasion involving supporters, which jeopardized the safety of players and match officials. According to the MPFL, Kano Pillars also breached league regulations due to the conduct of their fans, whose actions were deemed capable of bringing the game into disrepute. Supporters were reported to have intimidated and harassed match officials with instances of gross misconduct that undermine the integrity of the league. As a result, the club has been handed a series of fines totaling 15 million naira. This includes 4 million naira for repeated failure to provide adequate security and 3 million naira for acts of unsporting behavior. An additional 3 million naira fine was imposed for failing to control supporters whose actions led to the harassment and the intimidation of officials. The club was also fined 3 million naira for repeated gross misconduct towards match officials, while a further 2 million naira penalty was issued for disrupted and delay of the match, including the harassment of the center referee and that led to the stoppage in play. In addition to the financial penalties, Kano Pillars will play their next 3 home matches behind closed doors. The sanction covers their only remaining home game this season, as well as their first 2 home fixtures of the next campaign. To cap this early morning news, top stories once more. Governor Soludo has approved the appointment of Professor Onwalo as the chairman / pro-chancellor of the Governing Council for the COOU. The Senator Nwachukwu of Anambra South Senatorial District has held interactive session with members of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. Federal government AU to enhance access to safe water in Africa. And finally, from our foreign show too, Gaza development set back by 77 years following series of war, please. Monday's sit-at-home has ended in Anambra State. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has fully restored socio-economic and academic activities. With renewed confidence and sustained peace, Anambra is back on the path of progress and prosperity. Be part of the success story. And that's our breakfast toast this morning. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Sijoma. Do have a good day.